All right, so end of 2024 Dokkan Fest TUR tier list, and I'm not alone here. I have Swagkage, Ignant, and then Vector. We're all on a call, and I was like, let's just all record this together, essentially. So, we're doing top 10 here for these Dokkan Fest TURs and EZA TURs for Dokkan Fest, right? So we're just kind of compiling them together. I brought all the 2024 characters essentially here, and especially with Glorio and Goku that came out right now, I think that's the reason why I'm really making this tier list, but just general looking over 2024. So we do have some honorable mentions here, some characters I think that stand out that don't necessarily make the list, could maybe be argued for 10.
And Gohan.
I mean, we have, okay. For the first few characters here, we do have Int Ultimate Gohan. We have Int Super Saiyan 3 Angel Goku. And then,
hell yeah.
Let me close this. Physical Full Power Frieza Super EZA. So, Swagkage really wanted Full Power Frieza on this list. And I could see the argument right there for this Full Power Frieza just because he's like really, really good. I realize Swagkage is not here right now, actually. He's muted.
Honestly, I find him more impressive offensively than defensively sometimes.
I feel like, yeah, Frieza could do a lot of
I think he does a little bit of everything. Yeah.
Yeah,
he's a good all-around unit.
I think he is a really good all-around character.
He does kind of have that villain tax, I guess you could say.
I mean, you could say that, but like, he's on like some pretty nice villain teams right now.
That is fair. That is fair.
I think Transformation Boost Buhan's team is really good. He's on Slug's team. I think Slug's team is where he's most prominent. And I think especially in that Gogeta fight, man, that pure Saiyans buff right here, he could do a lot of damage. Even if he's not slot 1, which if you have like physical Janemba on rotation or something like that, like sending this guy in slot 2, he will get this buff right here as well. And that will just make him start to hit really, really hard.
Yeah.
So he could do like he could like melt like 3 of Vegeta health bars on a good turn. I feel like he's doing like 24 mil plus on each super attack. Like very nasty character. This Full Power Frieza is able to really, really cook, and I'm a fan of him. I just feel like and I'm thinking of Goku Frieza. He could be a little scary there. He could hit the damage cap if he gets some critical hits, but I think against Goku Frieza specifically, he is what's it called, performing guaranteed crits. So actually yeah, he is performing guaranteed crits, so he would hit the damage cap for sure. I just feel like at that point he will lose pretty much most of his damage reduction down to 20% because you're not putting this guy in slot 1 for the extra.
I have seen him get kind of shredded by their normals before.
Yeah. See, that's what I'm thinking. Like, I think his normals could really shred the like in Goku Frieza. So that's why he's an honorable mention here. I think he's worth enough to bring up considering his like how good he is and how effective he is in the Super Gogeta fight and the Super Janemba fights. But yeah, we also have Int Alan Dokkan right here. So Ultimate Gohan, I think he's another character where I really like him in Goku Frieza, and I actually think that he works nicely in Gogeta and Janemba. I feel like he's kind of the opposite though, where he builds up to be really good in that Goku Frieza fight once you're able to get him set up. But I think early on it could be an issue where I've had him not dodge or not get like a triple super turn 1, then he's kind of sitting there with like 50% dodge, and he tanks damage from normals, right, even with his guard ability. But what I really do like about him is he has that guard, right, and he can actually do enough damage to damage Goku and Frieza, I found as well, once he gets some stacks up. But that's when you're kind of building the team around him to do that a little bit, right, which you definitely could do. I could see like a Glorio team maybe where you have like Tech Gohan and Int Gohan, or even Beast Gohan and Int Gohan. Like a build like that could probably work.
Yeah, but you're running Glorio. You're not running this doo-doo caca anyway.
Hey, I think you can work as a extra floater, like a third floater in the Glorio team personally. And if you're facing extreme class enemies, he's providing 58% support. So like in that Janemba fight, like you're running double Glorio than this guy, like you're getting a lot of support kind of going around, and that could really help a lot of these characters, especially in Janemba. Once he's built up, he could hit you really hard with that defense debuff.
Versatile support units like him do just kind of automatically get a lot of points in my book.
Yeah, because it's like his only restriction is that he wants to be ran with superclass characters, and it's like, okay, like there's like obviously superclasses and no issues right now. Do we have in Super Saiyan 3? I want to include this guy here. I don't think he's as good as these two right now, to be honest, but I think he will age better than a lot of the characters that are here. And I think like post 10th anniversary era, I can see this guy in a better spot with his just instant 70% odds chance, rainbow orb changing. I think the Majin Buu Saga team is going to age really well, and you know, many of the characters on this list, probably like half of the list is pretty much just Majin Buu Saga characters, right? And I think the issue with him is transforming could be a little bit troublesome, but if you're able to get him transformed and you stay above 50% HP, which is not like terribly difficult to do, this guy, you know, while rainbow orb changing, 80% dodge, he could damage Goku Frieza, right? You know, he does like 16 to 18 mil super attacks, I feel like, with the guaranteed crits. So he's able to do some pretty nice damage. I wish, like, this ability is what really hurts him. I think if this was like another super attack, he would be drastically better, actually.
I agree.
Yeah.
I wish he had an extra super while transformed. The main issue with both of these units is the transformation conditions.
Yeah.
We'll talk more about that when we get to Vegeta, obviously. But I think that this Goku easily has a better base. And like you said, I think he's going to age a lot better than Vegeta is.
Yeah, and I would agree with that. I think he will age a lot better than Vegeta right now, just because we'll talk about him. He's not actually that far off the list, funny enough. There's a lot of
kind of just lives and dies by how long the events are. Like if the post 10th anniversary meta is like really predicated on short events, he's gonna suffer a lot. But if it's predicated on long events, he'll still be looking really good.
I gotta turn Vector up low key. This boy is talking quiet on the recording. What do you say, Vector?
I was saying how good he's going to age is going to depend a lot on how long the content is. If it's like a bunch of short content, it's going to be really bad for him, the Vegeta, but like he'll be looking good if it's still long content mostly. Yeah,
that's fair. Yeah, no, but I think that's Goku. He's very unrestricted for the most part, and I think you could throw him in a lot of situations.
Yeah, for sure. More versatile for sure.
Definitely. He's just kind of
unrestricted, versatile, rainbow orb changing is really good, and this guy has 70% dodge, so you don't really have to worry about him. Like, rainbow orb changing is one of my favorite abilities in the game, so I would consider putting him top 10, but I'm also this guy's biggest defender, so I understand why he's an honorable mention.
Yeah, I think he can get snagged, like in with the normal, or tagged with the normal, I mean, and then just like obliterated in a lot of circumstances, especially, you know, he's int type, so there's the Janemba fight, and then the Goku Frieza dodge cancel phase. It just like,
yeah,
not
it's
a good
really
spot for
rough
him
to be in right now.
Yeah, that's why I personally like int Gohan a little more, and it's just because he has the guard still. So like, even if he wouldn't dodge in Janemba or in the 17 Frieza phase, he can at least still not get obliterated by normal attacks, even, like, because he has the guard with him. I think that's a very important thing to kind of notate there. But those are the honorable mentions here. Let me just move them up here. So again, we have full power Frieza, Int Gohan, and Int Super Saiyan 3. Again,
yeah, we spent half the video talking about these lame
honorable
mentions, bro.
This is gonna be a 40-minute video, low key, dude. At this point, let's just go next. So we have the Int Super Saiyan, or I said Int, the SGR Super Saiyan Blue Goku from Heroes. He's actually, you know, I actually didn't have him on the list prior. I had Ultimate Gohan at 10, but they brought this guy up and I forgot about him. And I think he's considerable.
I think the
Dokkan.
Best
entire game.
Dokkan event unit ever. That active skill, bro, for link leveling at Dokkan events. Yes, sir. Give me more.
I think most of the community forgot about this guy, which is kind of the case with heroes every year, to be fair.
Yeah, I feel like, you know, when you really like look at what this guy's able to do, he doesn't need this rainbow orb changing right here. The additional super attack would be nice, but I think the crossover restriction is a little tough. However, I feel like you don't, again, really need it for this guy to be good. I've had this guy slot 1 eat Gogeta's super attack, slot 1 eat Janemba's super attack. Goku Frieza, his intro lasts for the 4 turns, right? So he has 2 turns of that, then you can get the active skill from the 5th turn onward, and he's able to last for an additional turn. With the guard and the 40% reduction, right? I think, you know, he's actually able to do just fine. He might not be able to stand in slot 1 in every scenario.
Yeah, he'd get whacked by a super and Goku Frieza, but everywhere else he's fine.
Yeah, and it's
I
like
have
you
literally never run this guy, so I have nothing to say.
you could use this guy still on slot 2. I think he does just fine. He does pretty good damage, but they built in crit here in his super attack effect, right? I do really like this because he could do a couple additional supers, especially if you have the Xeno ally in the team, right? And like in terms of Xeno like character allies, there's not really, let me actually bring this up. Like if you look at, oh, this is the wrong one. If you look at Xeno right here, there's not really a lot of characters that I would go out of my way to use, but this Goku is not terrible. He's like a pretty decent option you could use in longer fights. But, you know, we probably would need to wait for a time where even these guys would EZA. But at that point, it's like, you could probably be phased out a little. Maybe in Pan, she won't be supporting a lot of the team though, because I think one reason why we'll talk about him next, but one reason I like this guy a lot, his absurdly powerful leader skill, right? Kamehameha, Power Beyond Super Saiyan. These two are crazy teams, right? To have this together in a leader skill. And I think that makes this guy's value a lot better, considering, you know, he's still pretty unrestricted for the most part. So I actually do like him a lot. I think he is able to cook really well. Hero team is not bad. Even right now, it's not crazy, but you could throw in some of these characters, which I think make me like this Blue Goku a lot. I think he's very versatile. So that's why he's at 10 for the 2024 TUR tier list. And then next we could talk about Vegeta. So I know me and Swag have talked about this guy a few times about his base form.
His base form is a complete 0, then his transformation is like a 10.
That's pretty much it. I mean, that's why he's not
Pretty
higher.
much.
That's the TLDR of this unit.
I like, people act like it's not a big deal, but this could be troublesome because
Janemba and Gogeta literally exist, bro.
literally, like, it's difficult to transform this guy unless
It's
you
just the
get him in
fact they
slot
put-
7.
He's unrunnable in those fights. You actually can't bring him to Gogeta or Janemba.
The first few times I used this guy in those fights, he just got sniped by their super attacks, especially in Gogeta, who could super you twice in a turn. This guy is just, unless he gets a hidden potential dodge, you have him turn 1, you have him turn 2, he just instantly dies if it's a hit with the super attack. Like this, unless you're under 50% HP, which even then, like, you can get very close to dying, if not still dying anyways, because you're on low HP. It's a situation where with that, even with the 50% reduction, he has like 400k 500k defense post super. That's not enough. Like, okay, you reduce 50% of a 4 million super, you still have 2.5 million damage that you have to reduce with your defense, and this guy's like 500 600k. He's not living, right? That's how Dokkan math ends up working, right? I like the rainbow orb changing though. It's really nice, and he could do like mediocre damage realistically, like double 10 12 mils. This guy is just like, he's not good. His base form is worse than all the honorable mentions here. We'll move him up here though. His base form is not even considerable for this list at all. Like if it was just his base form, he's probably the worst unit released ever, but you know, they obviously designed him around this. Now this Majin Vegeta, if we're gonna rank Majin Vegeta, could we have like, do I have his like character icon here? No. If we're gonna rank Majin Vegeta by himself, he's like up here like at 4 or 5 range. Like he moves a couple of spots up. Majin Vegeta, I mean, he has guard 66% reduction, rainbow orb changing. He's doing like triple 30 mil attack stats. Like it's really stupid, right? I think the one thing that maybe people might overrate with him a little bit is slot 1 performance. Once he super attacks, he's untouchable, but before he attacks, he has like 300k defense. I feel like is the max I've seen from this guy. So that is like an issue.
It's basically like transformed AGL LR Broly, in my opinion. Like you can't slot 1 him, but I mean you can slot 1 him if you're like a weaker fight, but it's not as good as somebody like Beast or Tech Broly.
No, exactly that with that. And besides that,
he won't die,
like
but he can take a shit ton of damage.
Yeah, he will take like
exactly
like 300-400k damage still. I think Goku Frieza with their 50% attack buff probably do kill this guy before he supers, unless you're like at full HP and you have like 750k, which is not impossible, right? On the Majin Buu Saga team, it's very possible to get like 750k HP. I feel like, especially with like STR Gohan, you have Gotenks, all these LRs with high HP stats. But once this guy's transformed, he is obscene. This guy really holds him back though for me. And again, this even in Goku Frieza, it's like you can't control this. Back in the day when this guy came out, he came out 2019, right? In 2019, these characters are not nearly as complex as they are now. You have characters with like 16 billion built-in additionals. You have characters with like high chance to crit, great chance to crit.
Release.
Yeah, it's like high chance to crit, great chance to crit, great chance to do an additional super attack, 2 additionals with a medium chance to be supers. Like all these characters with like these heavily RNG layered passives that you can't predict what these characters are going to do to fit what HP level the enemy is going to be at, because you could be like, okay, I'm gonna float this guy off because I think I'm gonna be able to kill next turn, but then you float him off and all your characters get all additional supers and all crits, then you kill that turn, then when this guy comes back the enemy's under 50% HP, right? Like you can't predict it. Or maybe you're like, I'm gonna keep him on rotation, and then you actually don't end up killing the next turn, so you come back and the enemy's like at 2 HP, and you guys cannot tell me you did not experience that, where the enemy is just left at like 2 HP and then you're just stuck there. That happens pretty often.
It's just because we're in a meta now where like just units just do so much. Like the actual damage dealing units just do so much.
And I feel like they either do so much or they do like nothing.
So variable. Yeah. I've had this guy in base in the Goku and Frieza phase before. It's really, 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 really not like that hard to have it happen to you, even if you're playing well, because you have to make so many guesses.
Like, even if you play well, it's RNG. You can't play well for RNG, right?
And we're also in an era where it's near impossible just to skip super attacks, like back in the day. So it's like,
yeah, right.
It's nigh impossible to keep them above 50% guaranteed.
It just like
certain people that like to play the game in spreadsheets will probably tell you otherwise, but when you actually play the game, it's a little different.
It's a thing of like, especially even just rotations alone. 17's locking, right? You get this guy, even like you could literally get this guy in like your 7th slot in Goku not Goku Frieza, in Janemba Gogeta, and the enemy's already under 50% HP and you had no chance anyways for you even transform.
That's happened to me, yeah. And the thing is, you'd think it's ideal for him to be in slot 7 against them because you definitely don't want him turn 1. But then, the rest of the Buu Saga team just eats Gogeta and Janemba's butt, and then he comes in and he can't transform because they're below 50%.
It's at that point, I would personally prefer run in Super Saiyan 2 Goku in that fight, right? Just because like you can't transform these guys, and that's where I'm saying.
I'm the nodding Pikachu gif right now. I'm the nodding Pikachu gif right now. Yes, sir.
I think this guy's base form is better than what this guy's is, and I think that will matter in the future where events get harder. That will matter.
I think it's tremendously better too. I don't think it's like a small difference. I think in Super Saiyan 2 Goku is wildly better than Tech Super Saiyan 2 Vegeta.
Yeah.
But Vegeta's transformation is way better than Super Saiyan 3. Like Majin Vegeta is so much better than Super Saiyan 3, and that is your goal with these characters. So that's why I think
That's
this Vegeta's higher.
Mhm.
yeah, because like, it's not like I'm not gonna say it's like impossible to get this. You could definitely get this, right? Especially in Goku Frieza. It's just like not a consistent thing. I think a lot of people act like it's a consistent.
Yeah,
thing.
he's fairly unreliable, basically.
Yeah, although he's good though. Like when we say unreliable, that doesn't mean bad or impossible. It's just like not something you'll see every single time. And
And in fairness, even in Goku and Frieza, he can be a Tech 17 victim.
yeah, exactly. Well, like compared to like Super Saiyan 3 Goku, where it's like, oh, he has a dodge. Like this guy would get locked in slot 7, and then 17 just like instantly supers and he dies, right? That's how it is, right? But we'll move on. We talked a lot about this guy. I think we would have a lot of discussion about him. I think this will probably get some people upset. Me having Goten and Trunks above the Vegeta. I just
I
think
totally agree that they
They
just
just
seem
do
so
too
much more
much. I agree.
versatile.
I'm
They're
honestly
always good.
surprised.
Even like their turn one is
I'm-
just so much better.
I'm honestly
Yeah.
surprised by how low they are, just considering how good the TURs that have come out since Worldwide are. You know,
I mean, yeah,
like it's crazy because they used to sit at the top of the totem pole, and now this is 7th place.
yeah, it's just so many good. Like, it's not them. It's just so many good units have come out. It's crazy.
Exactly.
Dokkan design this year has been the best, but like, I think this could be a thing that you may not see sometimes, but it's not really. I think people forget about this, where they have the 30% extra reduction here with the Kamehameha team, and it's like that's not difficult. On Majin Buu Saga, like everyone's on Kamehameha, pretty much, right? And they do have the active skill that you can get. Now, there are some pretty good Trunks and Gotens right now. There's the Tech Trunks EZA, there's the Int Goten EZA, there's the Tech
The
Goten
Tech
EZA.
Goten especially.
Right. I ran a variant of the team where I had Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks as leader. I even ran that Int free-to-play Trunks, and then you have like kind of the Int free-to-play Trunks plus Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks. Then you have what's it called? Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks on the other rotation with I think one of the EZAs, and you kind of float the rest of the Goten and Trunks. This guy is providing this multi-turn support here. This guy is able to get his guaranteed dodge, right? And obviously that Int free-to-play Kid Trunks that came out during Worldwide, he's not crazy, but he can get up to 90% dodge, and he has a target skill. So he's not even like bad. I was able to clear Gogeta and Janemba fights with that team. So that was pretty cool. And even without Goten and Trunks, this character, they could do so much damage, and they build up to 80% dodge, which is absurd with the amount of damage and tanking that they could actually do. I think
Yeah, exactly. What I was gonna say is they build up to be a better in Super Saiyan 3.
Yeah.
Except they don't have like a crazy condition to get there. You just have to let them do their thing.
I think
It's
turn
like-
one they can get washed.
I think at their
a little,
best,
but-
they're not as good as Tech Majin Vegeta, but like their turn one is just so astronomically better than his.
Yeah, exactly. I think that like their turn one is just a lot of better than a lot of different characters, and if they get the dodge rolling, they could just do really, really well. Goku Frieza,
It's also way easier to see them at their best than it is to see Tech
Mhm,
Majin Vegeta.
Yeah,
I
like-
feel like.
I would take the great chances of these compared to like all these like a high chance or anything, like because at least that's a thing that you just have, like they're just the character, right? Compared to needing to transform, I think is a little different, right? That's kind of depending on the enemy. This is just the unit. Maybe sometimes they fraud out, not that's just what we're talking about, where every character now is like sometimes they fraud out, sometimes they'll be fine, right? I like this character a lot, and I think that they will actually continue to age well. I do, one thing I would say is I do wish that Tech Krillin EZAs, if he does get his EZA sooner than later, we could see like a Goten Trunks team, and these guys will carry hard, right? With Goten.
Please, easy that Krillin, bro.
I hope
please.
so. That'd be so.
Please, he's so fire.
I like this character a lot.
Get that unit super every turn, please.
Exactly. Ooh, dude, this unit super attack. It's like you like on the Majin Buu Second team, you don't even really see this like in the best variant. Imagine we could start seeing that consistently. That could be really nasty, but that is them. Next we have Lord Slug, Goat Slug right here at 7, which is kind of crazy.
It's really crazy because he's in arguments for number 1
Yeah,
recently,
it's like so many of
like
these,
a few months ago.
Exactly. And to be fair, I have easy AT wars on this list. I think a lot of people don't put easy AT wars on these lists. So that's like kind of like filling it up. But I think Slug is just. I think my issue with him is this could be a little issue, but we have Glorio now. That helps out quite a bit, right? In terms of demonic power. I could literally bring up demonic power. I mean, there's a lot of good characters.
So you just run double Glorio and all you need is one more demonic power.
Yeah, right. I mean, you have Glorio, Slug. I mean, this guy is like pretty decent. They're not bad at all. Buhan was added to this team. We could run STR Gohan. We could run Beast Gohan. Even Easy Attack Gohan. You could run a build with him. I mean, you have the heroes Demigra. I'm not a big fan of the few right there, but Meki Kabura. This is pretty good.
Well, the issue with the STR Gohan though is that he needs like a full
super
class.
I think,
yeah.
On that Slug variant team, you're right. It's not really gonna fly. And the Glorio variant team would be fine, and we'll talk about Glory later. But Meki Kabura, really good. I think what we really want.
We'll talk about Glorio later.
I'm thinking Demon King Piccolo next year would be peak. Hopefully we'll
We've been saying
see.
that for 10 years now.
I mean, it's gonna have to happen sooner than later. We'll see when Demon King
I've lost
Piccolo
hope. I'll
comes.
be
I
honest.
can't believe we got Dokkan Fest, not Demon King Piccolo, before Dokkan Fest Demon King Piccolo. Like, Slug is just a Demon
Slug.
King Piccolo cosplayer, and we got a Dokkan Fest of him before.
Yeah.
Anyway, though.
I mean,
Back
Slug's.
to analyzing the unit.
I think Slug's great. He's healing. He has the domain that, like, basically the entire fight.
The
you have this
domain is really, really, really good. Yeah.
Yeah, I really like his domain. Increasing the damage that superclass enemies and allies take. The allies, again, that's another reason, like STR Gohan, you can't really run him there. Beast Gohan is not that big of a deal, like he loses that. But what's it called? Like the flat support 15% is huge. I think that's a lot to be riding. And the thing is that the other slugs intro activates with it, so luckily he'll get his 33% reduction from the start of the battle as well, for the total of 66%. I mean, even in slot 1, I had this guy, like, especially with Glorio kind of floating around, this guy's, I've had him over 1 million defense just like before he attacks. And then once he super attacks, he starts getting this multiplicative 30% raise, and he eventually will be able to get a scouter, right? And it's just like he's doing a lot of things. And while he's not like necessarily standout-ish, I think the one thing that he's missing is maybe a little bit of critical hit chance in his passive or anything like that. Because like he does like 24-ish mil attacks. That's when he's fully built up, like on a good kind of setup. But it's like unless he crits, he's doing 0 damage to Goku Frieza. As an STR unit, he's in a pretty good spot. I think STR is a really good type to be right now. He's not dodge reliant, so like he could be a slot 1 in the 17 and Frieza phase, and I think
That's
works
really
out.
nice. I really like that about him. He really comes through in that 17 and Frieza phase in a big way.
Yeah, and even if he gets locked by 17, he doesn't die. He might take a lot of damage if it's his first turn, but he's definitely not dying with a 66% reduction. But yeah, no, he's able to cook really well at Slug, and
he's very good. He's one of the few units that have a scouter that's not the entire kit for the unit that people cope for.
yeah.
The scouter by itself is just like such a overrated dog shit mechanic, but
I think
when
this
you
kit could
have it in a
actually
kit
tank.
like this, it's really good because there's more to the unit than just I can see the super attack.
And then worst case scenario, like this guy has Janemba with him, right? That could be cool. He gives key to the rotation. Like he's doing a lot, right? I think a lot of people like they think of Slug and then they're like, oh, he's good, but like you really look at it as like he's doing so much for the team, and that's why
He
he's
does a lot.
able to cook so well. Yeah. Big fan of Slug. You could even throw like the Broly's on the team, because he only needs another 3, so like you could kind of run a movie.
You can have
boss
Tech,
for
Broly, and Janemba on the team. You basically just do not lose slot 1.
pretty much exactly. So
Yeah.
Slug W for sure. Next we have Int
They
Papu.
always cook with the extreme STR movie
Yeah,
bosses.
the goat.
Crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, here's Fapu.
And I'll actually put the next character there. Int what's it? Age of Super Saiyan for Goku.
Go up.
Okay, so in my last tier list, I actually had Int Buu above Super Saiyan 3. I changed this because I think Majin Buu Saga is by far like probably the best team in the game right now. I think
Yeah, he
we could pretty
dude,
easily say that, right?
AGL SSJ3 has gotten buffed like crazy
And then
in the
this guy is
last
out. We
couple
have
months.
this guy out. These two in Ultimate Gohan. Like this last month has made Majin Buu
Gohan
Saga
sneak.
so much.
Also adding the brats and
Yeah.
STR Dragon Fist is not insignificant.
Huge.
I
STR
think that
Dragon Fist-
STR Dragon Fist is borderline on this list.
You
I
could-
think that there's an argument for him also being in the honorable mentions, just because he
I was
always
about
does
to
his
say
job
that.
for me.
Like Dragon Face is he's gonna be a consistent character, right? You know, as a slot 2, slot 3. Then you got his standby, which is the only character that has the counter standby, so it doesn't get in the way of like STR Gohan standby or anything else like that, right? Poor STR Vegeta, man. Look at
And you can cheat with it.
I feel so bad.
STR Vegeta, I don't even want to talk about that.
Man.
That-
Generational fraud.
Generational fumble, low key, dude. That's so sad. But no,
Was even the best unit on his initial release, and he's not even the best easy unit.
Back to good units. We have like these two were added, like you said. Swag just like Majin Buu Saga just got huge buffs, and I just think
Majin Buu Saga is
It went
so
from
crazy.
0 to hero real quick.
cannot ignore that. Cannot ignore that. And then his value on that team is so huge. The 90% reduction instantly again. I personally like to rate Gogeta and Janemba like as a major fight, right? But even in
I
Goku
agree.
Frieza,
I don't see any reason why not to.
like I think 17 and Frieza may be a little bit of an issue for him, but I think the team moves so fast that it's even like
Yeah, I've never
easier
really
for this guy.
I've only ever had them hurt him in slot 2 or 3.
Yeah, because like I think it's easier
Yeah.
for this guy now because the team moves a lot faster because we have like Super Saiyan 3 Go tanks. We have, you know, if Majin Vegeta transforms, he does mega damage. We have a lot of these characters that are kind of pushing. Even having the STR Gohan added to the team.
One of the
He-
highest damage dealers ever.
Like, yeah, STR Gohan
Yeah.
added to the team melts that 17 Frieza phase. Like, the team moves so much faster now, so this guy has less of a chance to fizzle out, I think. And then by the end of it, like, even if he's floating around and he might not do damage in a lot of the situations, he just won't end up dying because he's type advantage at the very least, right? And, you know,
If you put attack equips on him and he's rainbowed, you can actually get most of his supers to damage Goku and Frieza. I ran into this by accident with a friendly Super Saiyan 3 Goku. His first attack was like 14.6 or something, and then every single super he launched after that damaged Goku and Frieza. I was like, whoa. I
yeah,
think he had
because
max
it's not
attack equips in every slot.
With
yeah,
all
it's
these
not a
new
consistent
buffs
thing you
like
see, but yeah.
Daima Goku, Tech UI Domain, and these Super Saiyan 3 links going around, it's actually really easy for him to just shred.
Yeah,
Goku
because
and
like
Frieza
on his,
now.
if you're running him as a leader, you could throw the UI Gokus on the team, right? Accelerated battle. You could throw the
Mhm,
UI Gokus
yes.
here. You could even throw.
You just have to be careful. You can only afford to put 1 or 2 non-Majin Buu Saga units on the team. But, you know, UI Goku's a good one to put on the team.
I like how
I
we
know he just
skipped
put Glorio.
Boob. In Boob,
Well, I mean, look, Ibu is pretty.
I
is
think
just
there's
pretty
not much to
generic.
say about him. I think he's
He has
just.
He's great because he has a revive, which gives you a free turn. You can just throw him out. He has the Usher, which is like the best mechanic in the game. Yeah, he's like undefeatable in slot 2 as of now.
Yeah,
It's not really much to say. You can get him if you build him full crit to damage Goku Frieza, but I mean that's like post revive, post active skill and everything.
I feel like the thing about him is that he
This
just doesn't
is-
really like. He's never the
Okay.
reason you lose or die because he can't.
Yeah.
Right. You
he,
die
he
with him
pretty
and you
much
get the ghost
cannot
action.
die.
Yeah, you die with
If
him.
you know how to
This
play,
is
you need some
Vector's-
brain cell.
Like-
This is Vector's dream unit because Vector was the biggest Metal Cooler fan and the
Hello?
biggest Tech
I'm right
Droids
here.
fan, and they put them together.
Yeah, exactly.
Me and Vector on the front lines with Cooler together, brother.
No, it's just
Sure. No, I mean, I think an unconditional self revive is really underrated until this guy came out, and then a Ghost Usher is obviously one of the strongest
Yeah,
abilities in the
getting
game.
a Ghost
And
Usher
getting
for
a-
doing
Well,
that is just so busted.
yeah, because that was the issue with Metal Cooler is that he died, but then when he came back, he got more healing, and it's like I think he had enough healing. He needed survivability, right? This guy
Would you
gives
guys-
the entire team survivability, right?
Would
I
you
think
guys
that's the
be
difference.
upset if I said this guy is like top 3 for Gogeta and Janemba?
No, that's just truth. He like
no, he's really good.
even
Like
run him
arguable
off
top
lead.
1.
Literally, if you're having issues, run him off lead on the team if you have him. Like he,
Yeah.
Especially
He
in
will
Gogeta.
literally do your taxes for you.
especially
Like,
in
if you-
Gogeta, right?
Yeah, Gogeta, you just throw him out, let him die, and then that because he gets weaker as the fight goes on. So you just
Yep.
throw him out, let him die. Then you just survive the next turn, and you usher the next turn, and Gogeta's like hitting like
Yeah.
a pussy by then.
Yeah, you literally you put him in turn 1 slot 1, he dies. The next turn you use the Ghost Usher, float him off, and then you finish the fight by then, right? Because of the fact that like Gogeta's attack, that's 2 turns that his attack would be lowered, and by the time he comes back, it's like turn 7. It's like you should have Gogeta finished off by then. It's just a one-phase boss, right? But I think the thing about this character that could be an issue in the future is just the characters around him, maybe. But at the same time, you can run him without a leader skill, so that's why I think he's gonna age really well, regardless.
Wait, I didn't
Yeah.
even know. Wait, go down. Survives KO. I didn't even know he had the
Yeah.
survives KO attacks thing.
That-
Wait,
Survive KO attack thing is ridiculous on this
I didn't even
guy.
know he had that on top of that. What the hell?
I feel like,
I
yeah,
just
he
learned
has that.
today.
And it's only once per turn, but there's actually a situation where even in Gogeta, even if he's off lead, he uses the Ghost Archer. Then if he comes back and there's one attack against him, he will just live still if he's in the last slot, right? And,
That's happened maybe before.
yeah, and then he heals.
My came back after the Usher because I was a while take out Gogeta and there one attack slot 3 live when they I was like, oh.
Yeah, in the Gogeta fight especially. Like, this guy is so good for that Gogeta fight. I think it's crazy, but
Basically better than other ones. I completely just forgot about the KO.
I think Super Saiyan 3 Angel Goku's in a better spot right now. But for these two, I always flip around between them. It just really depends.
Rapper's gonna be here forever. Like regardless of one
Oh, yeah, for
it's just
sure.
like the droid's still around.
Icon's still around. Icon could easily next week, by the way. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah,
Isn't it?
Icon had dodge and support. It's like he's easy too. Like he's still like Usher is just crazy mechanic.
Usher is absurd, man. But yeah.
Especially for another mechanic, the revive dodge.
Yep. Let's talk about another character that has absurd mechanics. Tech Beerus, right? I think he's at our number 4
This-
spot right here. Bam.
Insane like mistake of a unit. Right.
I'm actually surprised because like we see like Golden Week Dokkan Fest, and then we're gonna have the obviously New Year's Dokkan Fest are up here, right? I think if you know, right? But it's like having an EZA between like all these brand new releases or like major celebration releases, like a Super EZA, like a 2016 character is absurd. I'm
gonna say it. All EZA should have been this quality. I don't
I
care
feel
what
like-
everyone's argument is.
I feel
There's
like
no reason for it to be mediocre.
They probably just don't have a plan to release another Beerus, and I think that's why they're like, yeah, just make them busted, right? Because it's like they're like, it's Beerus, dog.
He is one of those units that, Truth has talked about this before, that got spammed in early Dokkan.
Yeah, exactly, right. You could
And
literally
they
put it up.
just stopped because it seems like they want to give Dokkan Fests to every character.
Yeah,
So they're not throwing out Beeruses and Super Vegetos and, Omega Shenrons and Cells and stuff like they used to.
I feel like
So I agree.
Dokkan-
I don't think we're going to get another Beerus for a while.
Yeah, because this Beerus was early game. This Beerus came on like what 2018, I think. I think it was 2018. Yeah, 2018. It was actually on Global first, which is real funny. He came on January in Global.
The World Tournament
Um,
Reward Beers.
Obviously, Dokkan Fest, yeah, the World Tournament Award Beerus right here is very old. LR Beerus was also 2018, or is it 2019? Yeah, he was 2018, yeah. It's funny, he came out that month that the M Beerus came out for GP, and then he came out later in Global. I think, honestly, Dokkan devs have always loved Beerus. I think we've never had a Beerus that was necessarily bad, right? I think
No,
even if they
they've
were
all
like,
been pretty good.
even if there's like mediocre, not bad, and you could really tell physical Beerus' easy was crazy. And I think that's like this guy like got 70% reduction in his kit. Like he had no damage reduction, then they just gave him 70% damage reduction just cause, which is crazy. But no, no, Tech Beerus just
Why do you keep calling every unit?
I don't
in?
know why I do. Look, this shut up. This guy is I don't know what they were thinking.
You have to have a very high IQ to play Dokkan, high intelligence.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm so smart. That's why I keep
Beerus
thinking
is
of it.
pretty simple. He's just a mini beast Gohan with his defense. He has a team protector used twice. He
There's
support.
there's people in the community that say he doesn't have a setup, and I just don't see like he's on Slug's team, he's on the
It's
Broly
every team in the game.
Like he's
Yeah.
he's on Tech. You could run him on Tech UI's team, right? He has multiple setups, right?
You can run him. You can run him on Tech UI's team, which is one of the best teams in the game, and you can run him on Broly's team, which is one of the
You
best.
could run him on
teams in
Tech
the game.
Broly's team. You could run him on
Right?
Slug's
Like-
team. You could run
Exactly.
him again here on the Tech
You
UI
with the
team.
double Janemba lead.
You could run double Janemba lead actually, yeah. And I think the one thing that this guy's missing is damage, but that's not his role. He's a slot 1 tank character that never dies, and I'm fine with that, right? There's other
And
characters.
supports.
Yeah, he's supporting right here. There's other characters that could do the damage for you. And then if you get the rage mode, he cancels the enemy super attack. He does like okay damage, nothing really crazy, but like he could do that twice. He can cancel the enemy supers twice.
He could do it twice, not once, but twice.
The only time I died with this guy is Goku Frieza under 50% HP. I canceled their super, but because I was really low on HP, he didn't have any reduction, so I had him a slot 1, and then he died to normals. But you could play around that, for sure. And him still canceling that like 6 million super attack is crazy. He like
do it twice, by the way.
he does not die in the Gogeta and Janemba fights at all. At least this is my experience with him as a rainbow character. Like maybe if you have him 55%, I could see it. But with Garden 60% reduction and with the stats that he builds up to, like this is really dumb. Like building up this start of turn multiplicative stats right there. It's pretty stupid. Yeah, no, this guy is really, really just nasty, and he just doesn't lose. Like he's never going to be the reason you lose in 99% of scenarios. So that's why this guy is just really nasty. And I died as well because I was trying to get that situation. Like I did multiple runs until I was able to get to that situation. So it's not even a common occurrence to happen at all. I had to force it to happen, right? But yeah, okay, I mean, I think pretty much agreeable. He's very straightforward. Like, oh, he just doesn't die. Next we have Buu Ultimate Gohan. I think what Buu Ultimate Gohan is base form, he's decent, right? I don't think he's crazy good. He's a nice 50% support here to extreme class allies right there. He has guaranteed crits for the first few turns and stuff like that, right? He could die to super attacks like Gogeta and Janemba turn 1 for sure. But you could also turn 1 get Super Buu out and this guy's like this guy's too good. Unironically, probably.
He is outrageous. Like he's insane.
He's probably
and the domain that you get for transforming into him is also one of the best domains in the game.
30% stats, dog, is
my one thing for him is just it just feels like having to build around his domain restricts team building with him a lot.
Yeah, a little bit.
Rotation has
I agree with that. He's like the opposite of Tech Beerus, because Tech Beerus you can just throw wherever you want. This guy you have to run the units they want you to run.
And it's like we're not gonna sit around and excuse power absorption and act like it's good. I mean, look at the cast here. But I think we have this guy.
Metal Cooler Ize.
I mean, Metal Cooler Ize could happen next year, yeah, for sure. I mean, but we have.
They're gonna give him an usher.
Buu Gotenks has aged very well. I think Exchange Buu's honestly he's probably better than people think he is. I'm not he's not crazy, but he's better than I think people think he is. And Buu is really good. You could run this guy as well. Like he's not bad at all. I actually have used Mr. Buu quite a bit, and it's like. You don't have to have the full team as it. Like, ideally you do for the consistency, but I don't really think you need the entire team to be that. As long as, especially because you could just, I mean, realistically, you could just reset over and over until you get the rotation you need.
Because it took a tip limits out finally.
Yeah, temp limits are gone for now.
But at the end of the day, the team
it might be back for 10th Annie, though.
Yeah, it could be back. So that's why I'm not going to completely discount it, but like, I'm ranking the tier list as the game is right now anyways, mostly. If it happens, as we can consider it, could be an issue, but right now, I don't think it's that big of a deal. Then you could set it up in Goku Frieza. Well, I say that, but 17 could lock you and mess you up really badly. That's the only issue with this guy, but you could. Well,
the thing is, the reward for it is
in
so
Goku
good.
Frieza, it just turned 6, so it's not like you have to have full power absorption anyways. And what I found with full power absorption in Gogeta and Janemba, it's not really that bad, honestly. Like for those fights specifically, because you get Super Bro and he's able to set Slug 1 anyways. He does a lot of damage, dude, especially against Gogeta. It's extra super attack, and he massively stacks attack. Like he melts Gogeta's fight so disgustingly bad, and he recovers HP. I think that's something people don't bring up. Because not only is he healing with potentially tech orbs, he recovers 30% HP at the end of turn. You know how much HP that is? That's like 250k HP or something.
That's why Buu teams have always been fun. It's just
Yeah,
the amount of healing they
healing
do.
you do, right? And he even has building crit here. And even if he's not transformed, he's still 50% supporting. You could throw him on some other teams. You could throw him on Slug's team, I think. You could throw him on Glorio's team, probably, if you're building an extreme class variant. You could throw him on... People use this guy on the Broly team because he's on an uncontrollable power, right? So, in fact, Broly fits that team because Tech Broly's on Transformation Boost. I think... Is Imp Broly in Transformation Boost?
Should be.
Is, yeah. Look at that. Ooh, okay, you give him like Broly's on there, and give him the 50% support. Like this guy's a floater on the Broly team. You know, you could do that. So, this guy's pretty versatile still. He's very nasty, but it's really Super Boo. That's like why this guy is like that guy. You know, like that. This guy is that guy because of Super Boo. But that's why I have him at 3. Could you argue Beerus above him? I think so. Vector was bringing this up, how Vector wanted
Yes.
3 up. Like, if you really wanted to, I could see it. I personally wouldn't do it.
Yeah.
I like
Boo too.
I feel like you could exchange like these characters really well. I think a lot of them in different circumstances. Beerus is
No, I was
weird.
first to get
I don't
back
know.
against Vector in this, but now that I think about who number 2 is, yeah, all these could be pushed up, man.
I feel like
If we're being realistic.
should I do this?
Yeah, move him under. Go ahead and move him down 2
No,
more
no,
spots.
no, no,
Move
no,
those
no.
other 2 units under him, above him.
No, it'd only be Beerus. Because I'm thinking like I feel comfortable exchanging these characters, but do I feel comfortable exchanging Beerus? And no, I feel like Beerus is like kind of like the guard right there. He's like, yeah, that's right, I'm here.
Well, since you're comfortable, you could move Buhan down 2 more.
No.
And move those 2.
I wouldn't. No, I think
Go ahead, move Buhan down 1 more. Go ahead, slide Buhan down.
anyways,
2
I,
more.
I think
That's the same thing.
I'm gonna move Beerus above because when I was using Buhan, it's like I was able to get Super Buu consistently, but it's not gonna be like I think Majin Saga is in a much better spot. We'll see. We'll see. We'll come back to it. We'll come back to it, chat. We'll come back to it. Okay. These guys are like talking like devils in my ear right now. I think it's pretty obvious he's 2 and 1, but you know, I'm a Goku. It's
If you
2.
could have guessed who number 1 is, you might actually just
I mean,
have brain damage.
Uh,
Like,
okay.
I'm sorry, but
Let's chill on these Dokkan.
I think
children,
with
man.
Daima Goku, I just don't like his performance very much. Although I do really like what he does for other units.
I think that he's turn 1 90% dodge with 50% reduction. He doesn't die turn 1 in like 99% of circumstances. Like if he gets tagged with the Janemba super, he gets 1 shot, but like he has 90% dodge, so it's not gonna be something you
unless
commonly
you're
see.
Apple Dokkan.
Yeah, unless you're Apple Dokkan, but who cares about that guy? I think what I don't like about this guy is this plus this. I think this is a little too restrictive for what it's giving. Like he will start hitting like 30 mil attack stats. I don't like the super effective. I think that should have been crits. I think this, like, at that point, why is it not crits? I don't understand why it's not critical hits. Considering that you have to dodge, you have to dodge 5 times, and then it's a turn after you dodge 5 times, which I really dislike. I think it should have been in that same turn, where if he's in slot 1, he gets still the attack boost. Because at that point, it's like, oh, turn 5, basically, plus. And it's like, in Gogeta and Janemba fights, especially Gogeta with how little he attacks, you don't see this, like, pretty much
This
ever.
dude dropped like 2 million attack stats the entire Gogeta fight.
Yeah, and Janemba fight, he's like, at most he's doing, like, you know, he can build up a little better in Janemba because Janemba attacks more. And, you know, that's where he's able to get this build up. I think that's just a thing. I feel like maybe we'll see 10th anniversary. This guy's able to build up a lot more consistently. Goku Frieza, this guy is able to build up quite well though, I feel like. And even in the physical phase, he's not really in trouble. I think, you know, I don't know if you guys have seen a situation where this guy is like, he's in slot 2, gets a triple super attack, and he has this 30% reduction. Would he be able to live the 17 Frieza super? I feel like no, just because he's type disadvantaged, but I can't
To
say
be honest,
for
I haven't
sure.
used him enough to tell because I just used him a couple times. Like, dude, I just hate using this unit. Like, he's good, but he's just like so annoying to use.
I like him just because he also helps the team out like this in slot 2, like tech wise, like counters does really well. You know, we can talk about the STR Gohan, his, you know, active or his finish skill, my bad, the Kamehameha is crazy. I feel like his buildup is just kind of weird. It's like you want to run him in slot 1 for the buildup, but you also want to run him in slot 2. It just like is a weird kind of back and forth design that I don't like. I feel like the build-up should have been easier for him overall. Realistic as shit. And I also hate that it's from his entry turn too. Like, this is where I'm really disliking this character. But even besides that, I just think what he's doing is pretty much, again, like this guy, but better. And I do like him, and I think he will age well. Once he gets fully built up, he's
really
crazy.
good.
He's crazy good, right? That's where you see this guy shine, especially.
Yeah, once you getting there sucks, but once you get there, he's fucking absurd. Yes.
Yeah. I just feel like, maybe another thing is that teams are so strong right now that these bosses get melted super easily.
Wait, Vector, you want to talk about his leader skill real quick?
Oh yeah, we're gonna talk about his leader skill.
Oh god, his leader skill
It's
is
really bad.
awful.
His leader skill is like
It's really bad.
like okay, we could look at the Dokkan Fest that released this past year. Like pretty much most of them have released with like 3 leader skills since like Golden Week. Like what? There's probably like 1 or 2 Dokkan Fest that since Golden Week released with like a 2-character leader skill. But again, we can go back to like Golden Week era. Let's see. So okay, we had because I know Topo had 2 leader skills, right? Yeah, Topo had 2 leader skills in his team right there. But like, okay, Super Saiyan 3 and then Fat Boo both had 3 leader skills. Physical Rose.
Yeah, even restricted units like Super Saiyan 3 and Int Broly, who require you to run with a specific category, have 3 leader skills.
3 leader skills for Tech UI Goku. Roshi had 3 leader skills, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, but yeah, because Peppy Gals. Why is Peppy Gals not highlighted? Peppy Gals, then Turtle School, and then DB Saga. He had 3 leader skills right there. We had all the worldwide units except the Carnival Lars had 3 leader skills, and then we can keep going. Vegeta had 3 leader skills. Slug had 3 leader skills. Buhan had 3 leader skills. Then Glorio has 3. This Goku has 3 leader skills. Like, it's a difference. You feel missing the extra team, I think, really badly, especially transformation boost like super class is not crazy right now. DB Seekers is also not.
It's so
really
funny because you
crazy.
look at transformation boost, and transformation boost is usually like one of the most stacked categories. But then I was like, oh yeah, it'll be fine. And I look at it and wait a minute.
I mean, you can run Jeremy's
Interesting.
team. Like I find myself running like Tech Berlin team, just because it's like there's not like a lot of other characters. This guy, they should have. I've seen a lot of people say they should have put this guy in Majin Buu Saga. That'd be cool, but they weren't gonna do that. I think we just need more Daima characters.
No, it wasn't gonna happen.
Because a lot of these like when we get like Vegeta and Daima, Piccolo and Daima, etc., they're all gonna be fitting Dragon Ball Seekers. So at that point, we could see like I don't know, let's say Saiyan Days Vegeta from the last Daima episode. He will fit Dragon Ball Seekers and Transformers Boost actually, and he'll fit this team. So that could be really good. But
I'll wait for Saiyan Day.
we'll see. I think this guy is designed in mind with 10th anniversary content because 10th anniversary content is going to be tankier. It's going to be, I assume, some long content. And I think that's where this guy is really going to be able to get that.
Yeah, I think
build up.
this guy and the number 1 are both kind of built with 10th anniversary in mind instead of just kind of throwing them to the wolves and based off of 2024 content because they both just have like crazy defensive mechanics.
Yeah, I mean, Glorio is by far the best character on this list. Like, it's like we have like we could probably like do this, and then Glorio's like right this, or even like this. I think Glorio's like all the way up there. Glorio's insane. Multi-turn, 50% support,
Ridiculous unit.
80% dodge. He's doing like
Bulma
6
on
super
crack.
attacks a turn. Yeah, he's Bulma, like basically. Yeah,
He said Bulma Physical Rose had a baby.
yeah. This is what Physical Rose wishes he was. And then he also has an active skill, which disables the enemy action. So like you could just I've had multiple turns where I disabled Goku Frieza's super attack.
And the thing, he has 3 turn support. So like he's out one time and his support's basically up for the rest of the battle.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so stupid.
And I just don't like. At first, I was like,
his damage, bro. Like,
I think the one thing you could see is this guy. In some situations, you could, if you're especially like Truth, you could do super, normal. That could happen, but I don't really see it happen really too common.
even for Truth, it's only happened like once or twice.
Yeah, because okay, what intro? He has the great
Well, and
chance.
it's not gonna be as common, even if you have him at 55%. You just give him additional equips, and he's attacking so many times that it's probably gonna proc.
Yeah, because the thing is that even if you don't get this a turn, like within every at the bare minimum every other turn you will be able to get this. For me it just happens every turn basically. He has for turn 1 he has a great chance. He has the
I've
high
not
chance
seen him do
here.
less than 4 super attacks, bro. Like,
Yeah, he has the
But I'm also the LR
high
cooler,
chance
guys.
here.
I've always had good additional luck.
And then if you take a look, here he has another great chance, and then he has the hidden potential system, and then he has this right here. The active skill could also help activate the hidden potential system super. So like even at 55%, again, like Swag said, if you give him additional equips there, he can get like even like 10 additional or something, 12 additional.
But he's physical, so he's built in with 5 additional.
I think that, yeah, the only thing is that you do want this guy to get crit. I would give him like a defense bronze, and then like crit and the, you know, other stats right there, crit and additionals, and the like gold and silver if you get dupes with him.
I think you should just be flat out full critting him.
I think I like
Yeah.
the defense, but
Yeah,
he
for
probably
sure.
doesn't really need it.
I think he's just flat out full crit build.
yeah,
Because like he's dropping like turn 1, he could drop over 30 million attack stat.
by the
It's
end,
like-
yeah, it's just like he's
and if that,
like,
if,
he'll start
if
off like
that's
at-
critting.
he'll start
If
off
he's critting on every attack, he's one-shotting like every phase of the game.
He'll
bro.
start off
he's
like
just
at
stupid.
9 mil, and then he'll do 9 mil into 14 mil into 18 mil into 22 mil into 28 mil into 32 million, and it's just like, oh my god, this is like.
And it's so fun just watching it get jump every
And then
single
he's-
attack.
And then he's supporting. he's,
So he has the best support we have ever had in this game.
and he's
Like,
stacking. And in the future, maybe he could debuff. And then he's also has 80% dodge.
Yes.
Like,
With
unless
like
you just
6
suck.
million defense.
Yes, that's why I was saying like it feels like they really built the 10th
anniversary
bring
map,
up-
because
should I
why
bring-
the fuck does he have 6 million?
let me bring up
defense?
Halvard's calculations.
Why does he have 6 million defense with an 80% chance to die?
Like,
Yes,
it's,
dude, like-
I don't like like it's just. I think they made him this good because it's also Glorio, and when Glorio was revealed, a lot of people were not excited, but now I feel like Glorio is gonna stand out as like one of the more fun Dokkan releases of all time. He's so fun to use. He's like everything fun that you could find about a character pasted into one character. I think with the support, with the dodge,
The defense nerds love him. The offense nerds love him. The support nerds love him. The challenge one nerds love him. Like he's just everything.
look at these stats right here in slot 3 right here. And then if he has stacks, if he gets to 5 mil plus defense, like
And that's with no support. That's with no
Yeah,
support, by the
this
way.
is-
You scroll down to with 40% support, and he's at 6.4 million
yeah, so like
defense.
by
with-
himself, this is turn 1. If you get all these super attacks, turn 1 he's at 5.2 million defense. Now
With 80 dodge.
this is linked up with Tech Gohan, so he's getting Brainiac's Cool Judgment, but like, you know, even without, like, we could shave off like a mil defense. He's still like at 4 mil.
With 80 dodge.
And the reason why he
And-
gets so high is because he has this buff multiplicative, he has the stacking, which is multiplicative together with that. Then he gets the 50% with each attack performed, and he hits so hard because he gets this within the same turn. With each super
If
attack
you
performed.
build him properly with the crit build, and he hits all his supers, and he crits a couple times. There's no boss that's going to survive long enough to hit him.
I've literally 2-turned Gogeta fight with this double Glorio, bro. He's so stupid.
It's just 80%, and then it's like 80% dodge.
And
He doesn't.
even they do get to hit him, he has 80 dodge on top of like 6 million defense.
The dodge
dude.
is literally pointless on him, but he has it because he just
It
tanks
just
anyways.
seems like excessive. It's really weird that he has it. It's like when STR Gohan came out and he just randomly had dodge and base, and everybody's like, "What does he even have that?"
Yeah,
you know?
it's
But
like-
like this, that Gohan actually can use that dodge. Because you know his defense is nowhere near as good as
And-
Glorio. It just seems like inconceivable to me
The
that
thing
he
about
will
this
ever
guy-
need to dodge.
He's not restricted at all. Yes, he just wants to be around slot.
No.
Yes, no restrictions.
He's no restriction.
It's like
You could.
this is a fan-made unit, bro. Like
This is literally like a fan-made character.
it's a whole ass fan-made
It's like
unit.
it's like the same feeling when I had like looking at Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta and the LR Gods kit. It's like they feel like fan-made characters. Like this guy, like what is his 10th anniversary gonna be? It's a little scary, but
I think he's just like I don't think it's a discussion. I think he's just flat out number one in the game. People are like, oh, he can't go to slot 1 and slot 2. Like, who cares? His purpose is slot 3. He's juicing the fuck out of your team. He doesn't die. He's doing 10 trillion zillion damage. He just does everything.
I think
bro. Like, I don't care about slot 1.
As time passes on, this guy is gonna be seen as like one of the best releases in Dokkan history, like up there with like even well, I would
For
say
sure.
he should be like with like even like Beast Gohan and stuff like that, like and how powerful he is, Kale and Caulifla. Like what this guy's doing is absurd, but people aren't going to do that because it's Glorio.
I mean, like the thing
if
is, like
this
everyone's
was
like,
Daima Goku, people would
Oh,
be
dude,
being
no
like,
one
best
shut
unit
up.
in the game, right? But it's Glorio, that's why. Like,
because like people are talking about links, but no one cared about links with Boma.
I mean,
Like,
the thing-
no one gave a
he's
damn about
even
Boma's
giving
link.
key as like his links. It doesn't matter because his stats are so high, and what he's doing is floating support. Like
Yeah, and then you slot 1 and 2 are the ones linking together anyway.
exactly, like he doesn't need to provide links to your slot 1 character or slot 2 character because they should be synergizing together. The point of the floaters to support and stop.
And the thing, it's just one of those units that are going to be here 3 years from now and like still runnable, and then he's finally getting his easy A.
Yeah,
Because he's generally one of these how do you age this unit, and it's just making the enemies do 10 million normal.
like like literally the only reason you age him is like by power creeping the
dodge
entire game.
canceling and 10 million normals. Like
They-
that's only way.
It has to then like if Glorio's power crept, then the entire game's power crept. That's just how it is,
Mhm.
right? So
Yes, exactly.
I don't think they're gonna do that for 10th anniversary. They could, but I'm not thinking so because it feels like a lot of these characters.
Please no.
A lot of these, like especially with how good designs are this year, a lot of these characters feel like they're being built up towards something. Like all these Majin Buu Saga releases feel like they're being built up towards, like even some of these Daima releases. And then 10th anniversary like Super Vegeta comes out or something, or like we've had a lot of movie heroes 10th anniversary Super Gogeta. Like I feel like it just all ties in very well.
And
if
they
that's the
somehow
case.
power creep so hard at 10th anniversary that Glorio is like fodder. That is like 10 times worse what people colorize 7th anniversary power creep. to be.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, no, that's like we need another like we would need like another AoE Broly phase, right? Like
And even then he has dodge, bro.
no,
Like,
I'm like, well, the AoE Broly dodge canceled is the thing I was talking about.
yeah.
But
Oh yeah.
Like that's like what would have to like, and then that would just kill the rest of the game, like 100%. So, and even then, Glorio has his active skill. He could just snipe it.
He can just snipe
could
it. Yeah,
snipe
because
it.
fuck you. That's
Because
why.
he doesn't see what action.
Yeah, why not, bro?
Oh
That's
my
there
God,
too.
They're just stupid, man. Okay, but dude, this is an hour recording. Goodness, this is just gonna go up, bro. I don't care. Let us know what you guys think. I mean, these guys kind of. I didn't even, it's funny. I didn't even have Scouter Vegeta in here. I forgot about him. Poor Scouter Vegeta. This is the wrong topo as well. So wait, is this the right topo? I think that's the in topo, is it not?
I don't know. I never liked that unit.
Let me see. Where's topo at?
It's just funny because you look at Scouter Vegeta and you look
But
at
yeah, that's the
Glorio,
wrong
and
topo. Oops. I
Yeah.
didn't even put physical rose.
Can't blame
Yeah.
you. Most forgettable
Yeah,
release ever.
AGL Vegeta came out this year. He came out after
Yeah,
Slug,
we
right?
had Agio,
Yeah.
we had Agio Vegeta, physical rose. It's just that I think this guy is like obviously he's like better design. I think this guy would be. I just feel like this guy just kind of he's good. I just feel like he does like most of these characters have multiple defense mechanics now, which is kind of funny. Like guard and damage reduction, dodge and damage reduction, dodge and
Remember
guard.
when people were saying Tech Vegeta is better than Super Saiyan 3 Goku?
Oh my goodness, that was so well. Yeah, because like the thing is that yeah,
There's still probably some people who say that. Tech Vegeta's glazers are insane. They're just like Tech Gohan glazers.
It's crazy to me because I am a big Vegeta fan, but like he's literally just Tech Gohan. Like,
I mean,
that's
yeah,
all
it's
he's
pretty
ever
much just
been.
the updated Tech Gohan. And the thing is that he also wants like he was good when STR Vegeta was like very good. And
When was that?
that was like for like I don't know, 2
Ever.
weeks. Poor dude, Namek Vegeta. I think this guy his stocks will go up because he has dodge and damage reduction.
No.
But that's when Namek
No.
Saga gets better. Anniversary Part 2 is like Namek Goku versus Buhan Frieza. I think this guy has like a floater on the Namek team with Rainbow Orb changing. It still really hurts that he changes the entire field to AGL. But I think his stocks will go up a little bit. Just because he
No.
has a floating dodge, Rainbow Orb changer.
Forever bad. Forever
Swag
bad.
is not having it.
Roshi, Could be Pog in the future though, but I think he needs a little more reduction. I think Topo is kind of dead. Rosé's like
I think Topo is done for. Yeah,
Topo's
I
done
think
for.
he had his time.
I think Rosé's
and-
pretty much done for. Frieza's pretty much done for, unfortunately.
You're saying this for these units like they're ever irrelevant. I mean, let's be real here.
I mean,
I don't care about
Frieza's
the
been
people.
done for.
I don't care about people's coping. None of those units are ever good.
anyways, Physical Rosé sucks. Glorio's king. Let us know what you guys think about the tier list. Thanks all for joining. It was a very lively, good discussion, I think.
Move
Yep.
Goku and Boo up.
No. All right. I'm ending the video. Bye, guys. Bye.